Look at the leaps and bounds that we've made in the last 50 years. Look at the leaps and bounds we've made in the last 10 and 5 years as far as technology goes. And imagine what it's going to be like in 7 to 10 years from now, when the kids that are starting school now come out of high school and leave high school and get out there into the world. It's going to be such a different world, and these children, as I said, will have no reference point if we do not choose to intervene now. And forget this puppet show of politics. That isn't going to solve anything. None of the stuff that we're focusing on is going to solve anything. It's all these external issues that we're focusing on and thinking we can point the finger at someone and heal the world that way, but it's what's being rolled out underneath. It's the tech, it's all of this communication system, this surveillance system, this digitizing of everything that is the problem. That is the New World Order. I keep saying this because it's true. And is it a really important issue that people need to focus on? Because in another 5 or 10 years, they're going to look up from all their research and go, wow, what happened? How did I get here? How did I suddenly find myself in this incredible digital lockdown? Why wasn't I paying attention? And now's the time that people can pay attention. If we don't do it soon, folks, then there's no point even continuing with what we do in the independent media. There's no point even protesting this system, because we're not going to make a difference if people continue to use the tech. And look, I'm not meaning to be brash with anybody. I guess a lot of people simply can't see what they're doing. A lot of people really can't see what this control grid is and where it's coming from. And they really don't understand what the New World Order is. They can see that there's a lot of corrupt people doing a lot of corrupt things. They can all tell that they're in a state of scarcity because of this money system. But so much of it is smokescreens. And even if you do find the terrible people at the top that you've been looking for all your life, what are you going to do then? You can point your finger at them all you like, but who's going to arrest and try these people? Nobody. And even if they are arrested and tried, well, what then? What happens then? The system's still here. Everything's still rolling out. People just aren't seeing the forest for the trees. It's this automated system that is the problem. In the last 50 years, the human attention span has been reduced from something like 30 minutes down to 8 seconds. And 8 seconds, folks, that's 1 second shorter than the attention span of a goldfish. That's the human race, and that's a pretty shocking way to be. We've now got a species who has a shorter attention span than a goldfish, which previously had the shortest attention span of any creature on the planet. Now we've outdone them, folks. Now humanity has a shorter attention span than a goldfish. Think about that. That's pretty shocking. That's pretty shocking. And has it happened? Again, it's happened due to our tolerance of wrong behavior and our refusal to acknowledge what's going on around us. Even if we do acknowledge it, we just don't do anything about it because we believe that all these other people who are actually our employees have some weird type of authority over us when they don't. The question is, where does this belief in authority come from? And a lot of it is through occult mechanisms, folks. A lot of it is because of the way we are indoctrinated into occult teachings without really knowing what we're doing. Our belief in the written word, our belief in the power of our employees to cast spells that we somehow believe control us, which is essentially what written law is. It's not natural law. It's an occult way of controlling mankind through means that are completely and utterly unnatural. And this happens to us on so many levels and on so many degrees. People really do not realize to what a degree the occult rules their lives. This is why you're told never to look into the occult, folks. You might actually figure out what's going on, and they certainly don't want you doing that. And I wonder about all of this stuff, folks. I really do. I really wonder what this reality is. Sometimes I think we're even caught in a time loop. Sometimes I really wonder just how far real history actually goes back. Because what do we know? What do we know about history? All we really know, all we can be sure of, is that which exists within living memory. All we've got before that is books. And what are books? They're just a series of spells that people have written down on paper. Do they really mean anything? I'm sure a lot of them do, but how can we be sure of anything that we've been taught? How can we be sure of anything we've been told is true? Like I said, sometimes I think this is a time loop or a holographic experiment or something. Just hypothetically, thinking about it, imagine if there was another level above this level. As above, so below. Imagine if that is what the true meaning of a fractal reality is. But just hypothetically, imagine if there was another reality above this reality. I really wonder what this reality is and what this experiment, this grand experience that we're having is really all about and what we're supposed to do with it. Now, sure, it's about gathering data, but I think we're given all of these opportunities to step into our heart and we refuse to do so, and I think that's the problem. You know, I think we could heal the whole world by stepping into our heart, I really do. Just applying our heart to everyday situations will change all of these situations.
Only on Be Positive.
Imagine applying your heart to the war, folks. I mean, that's certainly going to make a big improvement there, I'm sure. And we have to have a little bit of understanding for all of this and a little bit of understanding for all of these people everywhere and realize that the whole human race is facing the same problem. We're all in the same dilemma and we're all facing the same future, and we've got to put all of our stuff down and just learn to cooperate a little bit. I think that'd make a huge difference. But I really do wonder what's actually going on here, folks. I really do. What is this journey all about? And I guess that's something we've been asking ourselves for so long. What are we here for? What does this all mean? And how did we go so wrong? You know, last week I investigated the possibility that where we went wrong was really the metaphorical biting of the apple, the search for knowledge, and what that search for knowledge has brought us to. How when you introduce a usurious money supply over that thirst for knowledge, you also introduce a system which will lead ultimately towards automation and ultimately to where we are right now. And that everything about this system is designed to take that away from us. And even when we look for a way out of the system, we look for it externally. We look for the secret code or the secret book or the secret key or the secret doctrine or the secret plan, the secret blueprint that's going to lead us to freedom. But we always look externally. We don't look for what's in our hearts, what exists inside us. I mean, many people do to a certain degree, but even the people that look within their hearts and find this stuff within them and find this spark of understanding that they have, they still go out and they read books about self-improvement and they use all the tech that they're given around them. They don't see how easy it could really be to change this world if we were simply to apply ourselves to ourselves. You know, when you look at this concept, folks, the concept that we could change the world by simply stepping into our hearts and refusing to tolerate bad behavior, refusing to tolerate wrong behavior, it's getting more and more in your face, and people are becoming number and number to it. It's almost like the universe, this reality itself, this construct that we are in, is screaming out to us to step into our hearts. You know, no one's coming to lead you to safety, folks. No one can do it but yourself. There is no big movement that can come along. There is no hero to lead the charge. And think about it, folks. Anybody attempting to lead the charge against this system, what are they going to do? What's the intention? What do you really think will happen? Like I said, even if we were to pull down every world leader that we've got now and replace them, what do you think the outcome would be? It's all theatre. All of the politics is theatre. All of the countries are theatre. All of these wars are manufactured. There is no reason for anybody to be fighting anybody else. All of it is theatre, designed to distract us, to bring this control grid online underneath us. We don't really realise what the control grid is, and we don't really realise what the system that's being put in place is going to do. And as I said before, you know, even if you're one of the people who sits at the top of the control grid and you run the monetary system and everything, all this sort of stuff, it doesn't matter. Once the system comes online and becomes fully autonomic, then we're all part of the same equation, according to the system. But more important than all of this, folks, is the future that we are allowing to be created for the kids. And as I said earlier, when these kids come out of school, this new generation that's just beginning school now, when they come out of school, they're not going to have any reference point.
Only on Be Positive.
They're not going to have any idea what it's like to be free, what it's like to be a real human. You know, the smart system is the New World Order. If people can't see that, well, they're just looking in the wrong direction. But no one can lead you out of this politically. No one can lead you out of this with a revolution or any type of physical action, any type of pulling down the system or voting people in or voting people out or starting any type of movement. You've got to put down the tech yourself, and you've got to reclaim your humanity. If you're not prepared to do that, well, no one else can do it for you.